Hello everyone, this is Clausius, and welcome back to another Beginner Go Problems video. Today we are starting section 6, which is vital points, which pretty much gets us started in our life and death. Now, the difficulty for these problems are about 29Q to 28Q, so we're raising the difficulty just a little bit. So hopefully at this stage you are starting to understand how liberties work, how I's work, and pretty much hopefully how false I's and I's and liberties work. As long as you understand those things, you're pretty much ready for this section. So on the Go problem set, I've labeled this section as 28Q, but it could be considered 29Q or 28Q. So it's just whatever. Just don't worry about the rank so much. Just worry about if you're at this stage and you're learning about the I's. This is pretty much your introduction to life and death and vital points. So vital point, what is that? So in this section we will discuss how to make two I's in order to be alive. Sometimes our two I's are not obvious and we will have to find them. So this section will discuss how to make them. So play A to see an example, B to move on. So in this case we have 3 in a row. So for this example we see that it's not clear if black has two I's or not. So if we play A and see our example and we play A here, you can see that there is an I right here and an I right here. So this is considered two I's. So this is considered alive. So that is pretty much what it is yes, it's not obvious, but as long as you play the vital point, you can have two I's and you'll be completely alive. So that's what a vital point is. It's the move or point that will make sure that your group's alive. And we'll get into that. This is pretty much the life part of life and death. So you play the vital point, you have two I's. And that's very, very important for determining if your group's alive or dead, and especially when you get into things like invasions and stuff like that, it's going to be very important to create the I space and then play those vital points in order to make sure you have two I's and you're alive. All right, let's play B to move on. So let's go ahead and get started. Can black live? Basically, your goal is to make two I's. So it's black to play, make two I's. And remember, at any time you can pause this video and try to solve it on your own. But let's go ahead and move on. So in this case, the answer actually is here. You play right here and you have two I's. It's the same shape as in the last example. It's just flipped sideways. So 3 in a row, you play the center for two I's. All right, what about here? So it's a little bit different because it's on the edge, but remember the edge doesn't have any liberties or anything, so you can still make I's in the edge and in the corner. So it's 3 in a row. So what do you think the vital point is? The vital point is here. You play right here, you have two I's. All right, so now we get into the corner. So now we're getting into that bent 3 shape. So it's like, it's not 3 in a row, but it is a bent 3. So now we need to find the vital point of this shape to make two I's. The vital point is still in the center because now you have an I here, white can't play, and you have an I here, white cannot play. So that is the vital point. All right, and what about here? This is not really any 3 in a row or bent 3, but rather just can you spot where to make two I's, or can you spot that your group's dying? So what do you think the move is to play? The answer is right here. This is the move to make two I's. All right, so our group is an Atari and we want to save that. So how do you think we should save it while also making sure that we have two I's? And the answer is still the corner because it's still a bent 3 shape because white's on the inside and can be captured. And when we capture it, we actually make that same vital point with the bent 3 shape, and now there's two I's. All right, so here's another bent 3 shape. So hopefully you can solve this on your own. The answer is that center point for two I's. So the common theme here so far, we're seeing that there are certain shapes that you really want to kind of have down and kind of have almost memorized to where the vital point is. So 3 in a row, bent 3, and just recognizing when you can make I's in general. All right, so here is another vital point. Where is the vital point to make two I's? The answer is here. You play here, and you have that same bent 3 with the vital point being already played. Just a little bit different order. but still 2 eyes. All right, don't get too confused, but try to live with black. Where can you go to make 2 eyes? The answer is here. If you go anywhere else and white plays right here, then you will have only 1 eye. So you already had 1, so you just needed to make a second eye. All right, and where can you go here? So this is actually not any of the shapes we've talked about previously. This is a very tricky shape, but if you look at it and try every move in this corner, you should be able to find a move that actually makes 2 eyes. So where do you think you can play for black to make 2 eyes? The answer is here. Now you have an eye right here and an eye in the corner. This is not a false eye because if white plays here, you can play here. And if white plays here, you can capture, but assuming that white could play here, you would just play here. So this is not a false eye. This is a real eye, and there's an eye in the corner. All right, black to live. Where do you think the vital point is? So the answer is actually to capture this white stone right here, and now you have 2 eyes. Because sometimes you have to actually capture something or cut something off in order to make an eye shape that will eventually be reduced onto an eye, and that can be capturing your opponent's stones. So sometimes capturing your opponent's stones is a good way to make a second eye. Not always, but it's good to know that that option exists. All right. And this is one of the shapes we've talked about, but can you recognize it from here? So black to live and make 2 eyes. So the answer is actually here. This is the bent 3 shape. So when you capture that stone, you have 2 eyes. If you play right here, white actually plays the vital point of the bent 3, and now you have 2 in a row, which is 1 eye. So this is a bent 3 shape. All right, another vital point problem. Can you figure it out and recognize the shape? So the shape here is actually 3 in a row. Capture the white stone, 2 eyes, and that's the vital point. All right, so that is it for section 6. I think that is probably, without contest, the hardest section that we've covered so far. I'm hoping I explained that well, and hopefully you guys understand how the eyes work and how false eyes work, and basically how the vital point works in order to make 2 eyes. And hopefully with those sections you understand now how groups are considered alive if they have 2 eyes versus how they're considered dead if they only have 1 eye. So this can be expanded upon a ton. That's life and death in a nutshell, is the making of the eyes and the taking of the eyes. It can be expanded a ton, guys. It can get very complicated very quickly. But the general idea is based off of that. It's if a group is completely surrounded, you want to maximize the amount of space it has to make eyes, and then you want to play the vital points to make at least 2 eyes to make sure a group is alive when it's completely surrounded or cut off or anything. It's very important for dealing with invasions. It's very important if you get cut off and get surrounded. So that stuff, that life and death stuff, is going to be very, very important for you guys. So I really hope that you understand all of it. And if not, feel free to ask questions. I'm happy to answer. I'm sure other people are also happy to answer as well. But yeah, hopefully that helps you guys understand the very basics of life and death and teaching you the very basics of eyes. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and look forward to the next video, which is going to be about finishing territory, which I think a lot of beginners struggle with, understanding when the territory is finished or when it's not finished. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time.